was a very, very important thing, and it really matters in my life. And the fact that we made this together, I think we're just busting at the seams, almost from fatigue at not being seen correctly. That's not to say that we both haven't in our own ways been seen, and actually been seen, we said this before, like we've both worked with incredible men who, Kristen was saying earlier, have a right to the female gaze. I think I've just butchered what you said, but the sort of, we work with incredible people, but coming across one another as two women similar age, that's just, it's a very, very cool thing. And then to go and make something like this together and just be really ready to do it, be sort of livid, and sort of on the brink. It's always a cool thing when you start burning stuff down in your life, and not in a way of hurting people, but when you start to realize the kind of life that you have to lead, and then you find someone else to sort of burn stuff with you. It's a very, very special connection. And Kristen's just an astounding director, and from the rehearsals through to making the film, it was just like, it was really hard work for both of us for different reasons, obviously, but ultimately it was like, wow, it's amazing working with people who know what they want. It's just an amazing thing. It's like there are no spare elbows wafting in the wind. Everything is put to good use.
I want what you want. So badly.
I want to make sure we have time for
Well, you don't have to have the sort of overt experiences that Lydia has to understand the sort of atmospheric thievery that we experience as women discovering our own desires. We don't discover our own desires. They happen to us. And then you kind of live a life untangling how to physicalize those things, and how to remove yourself from stigma, and I don't know, kind of I think it's funny, when you first said this, I thought you were asking Imogen what it was like to embody, to actually to do that, and so you should definitely answer this, and I'll be quick. I just didn't want anyone in the, I didn't want it to feel like there was anyone standing in the room. I didn't want a third person perspective. I wanted it to feel like a really hard-earned slog to get to the point where you're, I don't know, where all of the kind of negativity, where your pleasure was born, was able to be understood and processed, and maybe even kind of like used the way it used you, like used in the way that you got taken from. I'm sorry, you can't, like, we're not in Men in Black, we can't just like delete our memories. You know what I mean? We can't just like fucking like, we exist, we are made of the tatters of our experiences. And if you sew them back together and make a beautiful quilt of like a stunning, honestly, I guess the way to finish this with a modicum of succinctness, I would say I'm most proud of the moment that Imogen, whenever she comes in the movie, because it feels like such a fucking hard-earned, achieved, victorious. Everyone calls the movie so tough. Like, I understand it's tough, but it's like, all right, well, are you all right? Like, what do you want to look away from? Like, are you having such a hard time looking at certain facts that are so prevalent? It's like the patriarchy is such a pink elephant in the room. Like, it's like a fucking purple zebra that we're not allowed to point to. We're living in a zoo that's a rainbow, and we don't talk about it. Like, it's like a hard conversation to have. So I thought the sexuality had to feel so from within the body and so repossessed that the terms changed. That the angles were so odd, and the words were of a shape and a sound that were amalgamized from what we learned, but completely redesigned. And Imogen did that. The best scene in the movie is not a written scene. She just did it with her body. Like, she just responded to making certain shapes, and she had a certain sort of like rapturous, like uproarious moment that created a scene that I think is like scaffolding for the whole movie.
Which scene?
And so, like, I have these ideas. It's when she, like, fucks the girls on the girly fuck trip, and then she has a full release of, like, what it actually feels like to touch the depths of yourself for one moment and then run swiftly away from that moment. And it's like, it feels like such a false victory. You go, oh my God, she did it. She won. She got it. And then it's like, she's never going to accept that. Or not never, but it's I guess the latter part of the movie, which is 2 hours and 8 minutes. Thank you for sitting for so long. Is going to be her accepting what I know she's capable of. Maybe she can absorb something nice, you know? So that was the type of sexual that I wanted to do. But what about you, Amy? Because honestly, you had to do it with your own arms and legs and torso.
But it's interesting because it's like sex is such a it's so complicated, and somewhere along the line someone decided it should be really simple and it should be kind of spoken about in a very simple way, and
someone say it
memorized in a very simple way. But it's like if in your life a problem has been created by someone else and the whole of your life it's foisted upon you as your responsibility to solve that problem, and when that problem is how can it not be? Like, everything always links back to the same things of like sex, death, God, and this problem specifically links in with her father and linked in with sex and linked in with her body. It's like she's going to spend the rest of her life attempting to solve this fucking problem that she did not ask for, and that's just a weight upon you. But yeah, those moments of relief when you yourself own, and it's a real thing when you suddenly. It's not even a choice, it's like something that chooses you, but it's your own experience, which isn't coloured, isn't tainted, and isn't sort of somehow reflected of someone else's choices. It's just completely a present thing. And I think there are moments like that with Lydia, and those are probably the most uplifting moments of the whole film, I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of parallels. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kristen.
No, I'm like, shut up.
No, I was saying parallels with Lydia's own journey as an author, as a writer, as like discovering self. Both Kristen and Imogen, tell me more about, how involved was Lydia herself on the project? Imogen, I listened to the audiobook recently, and your accent is incredible. It's uncanny. It's exactly how she sounds. Yeah, no, but so did you collaborate? Did you meet with her or not at all? What was that like?
No, we didn't meet at all. And she's been amazing. She's been such a cheerleader, and she was a cheerleader from the moment I was cast and throughout the film, and since the release. And she's just the coolest person ever. And I've read everything she's written and read everyone who influenced her, and I just think she is phenomenal. But no, she was cool enough, smart enough, and I think Kristen had maybe spoken, or maybe she's clever enough that I know that she's clever enough that it wasn't even necessary to talk about it. She needed to step back and just give grace to the project, and that film is a different medium from literature, and she had entrusted Kristen to go and make the film that Kristen was going to make. And I think we've discussed that this girl is our girl, it's us, it's you, it's our mothers, it's people we know, and I think about sort of how Lydia was our vessel, and it's Lydia's life story, and that is the plot of the film. But it was a chance to sort of talk about, what it is to move through the world in a body that you're sort of trying to repossess.
It's funny because, oh wait, what were you gonna say? Sorry, I think there's like a delay. I'm so sorry. I'm being just such a dipshit.
But no, I didn't. I did not talk with Lydia, and I have not met Lydia, and I will meet Lydia, and it'll be a fucking trip.
Kristen, did you want to say something?
I mean, only if you want me to.
We want you to.
Why didn't you say something?
Oh, listen, I get under the table. Okay, so like what I was actually gonna say was, I'm gonna say something that seems fully abrasive, because if we don't utilize the plain speak that it takes to kind of like shatter, kind of alluding to a conversation, you don't have to get fucked by your dad to get fucking stolen from by where you live, which is being a woman in a body that is not allowed to decide what the fuck they want. And so Imogen played all of us, not because of that. I'm going back to question and then also into this one, which is, she didn't do any like voice work or like study in terms of how she articulated it wasn't about the details of this woman's life. It was the fact that she expressed them. And it was the fact that she did it in a way that took patience and understanding and compassion and a little bit of style, like a little bit of like wherewithal to understand that if you want something unique and cool and positive and like something new, that you need a little bit of time to understand the individuality that exists within the universality, which is like, yeah, we made a movie about, we adapted a memoir, and it is not about Lydia Yuknovich, even though it is completely kickstarted by this woman's activation abilities. Like, she's such a good teacher. She sets people on paths. She's created so many opportunities for people understanding that what they want to do is pull out a book or pull out a movie, in my case. And Imogen lives her life in a way that is igniting. And whatever Imi went through, or whatever I went through, and whatever the collective female kind of genetic trickle down of oppression consists of, our words, our language, the English language, Western language in general, language of all kinds, go back to any century you fucking pull out of any hat. It was not designed to help us express ourselves. And so it has to come out of order, and it has to come from someone who believes that maybe someone, or actually it has to come out of someone who has like so small of an ego, such a diminished ego, that how it lands doesn't matter. And so therefore what happens is incredibly fucking true. And that's the way that Imogen performs. She doesn't overtly plan, but she comes from such a pure place. And to make a movie that's so squirrely, based off a woman's work that was squirrely to a precise and beautiful fault, and not fuck it up by providing it an engine that's gonna like appease people as a whole. And when I say people, I mean like media, kind of the largeness of like the larger reaction. And somehow we got a warm welcome because we came from a fucking warm place. And Imi, I could never have done that without you. And like, you're such a rarity. And it would, I've met literally, I need to like shoot. Remember that line that was so hard to say? Like, yeah. I can count them on one hand with 4 of its fingers shot off. It's not in the movie because it was too hard to say. But it's in the movie because that's who the fuck you are. Yeah, that's it. But like, I couldn't have done this. I wish you were still here at the place that I'm at. You're in Brooklyn and I'm in Brooklyn, except no.
Very moving. Okay, I'm gonna open up to the audience.
Brownish.
Good evening. Thank you for the book. It's beautiful. I just wanted to know, you brought on 2 amazing people, Kim Gordon and Jen Dunlap. How did they get involved in the project? I think they're really influential, amazing people. Thank you.
Oh.
Could you hear
Kim
that?
Gordon and Jen Dunlap? Jennifer Dunlap is our production designer. We met on a music video. We met through a mutual friend, the same way that me and Imogen kind of got aware of each other, other than the fact that she's the best actress of our generation, and then I've loved her in every movie she's ever done, and she's better than all of them. And Jen Dunlap helped me with a small project, and also came to save our lives. Like, we got a little bit dicked in prep, and a certain person a little bit dropped the ball, and Jennifer Dunlap, I will never work with any other, I mean, like, I don't want to speak like I know everything, but we need to work together so much more. Jennifer doesn't believe in the word no, or impossible, or we don't have enough. Her dreams, they bolster and fucking perforate any doubt that you could ever have in thinking that you might not be able to make a movie. Jennifer Dunlap is like, I mean, she's a master, and Kim Gordon is someone who's like mommy as fuck, and someone who has gravitas, to the extent that if she's only in the movie for 3 minutes, you understand where she comes from, I don't know, it's aspirational to be like, she's the queen of dissonance. Like, she's the queen of trusting that a kind of meandering note is so much truer than any sort of truly hit key. You know what I mean? Like, where you go, oh, as soon as she steps in the room, you're like, I'm in safe hands. Like, I know. I think maybe I just already said it. She was. I was so lucky that she wanted to come and play, because she's only worked with the best directors. She's only worked with like Olivier Assayas and like fucking Gus Van Sant, and she loves movies, and she is such a sort of mama to us too. Like, she's so sweet to us. And
both of them, both Jen and Kim Gordon, are both artists. I mean, and I'd say Kim Gordon would 100% say she's an artist before she's a musician even. I mean, and her book talks about that all the time, but it's like Jennifer Dunlap is selling her artwork and then she works on movies, and Kim Gordon is going to her art studio and then recording her music. And, you know, it's just, these people are, it's so inspirational, isn't it?
are you from England?
Yes.
Right. One or two more questions. Does anyone in the, I will come back to balcony, have a question? The neglected balcony? No. All right.
Work with Canadian. We worked together in Sudbury. And
I know Joey. He's debating whether to stand up or not. Joe, he's waving at you, Imogen. Okay. No.
Toronto?
Yes.
We're in Toronto?
Yes, that's right. Okay, we have a question. Sorry, do you still have a question? Yes, in the tan. Yes, you. Gotcha. Okay. Mike is coming your way.
Hi, thank you for the movie. I loved it. My question is about the sound in the film. I found it to be obscuring, but also used in a way when you were getting most close to the truth. Like the lyrics Philip sings at the wedding, and when the mic is crackling while Lydia's doing her reading. So I wondered if you could speak a bit about the sound choices you made in the film. Thank you.
Thanks for asking that. It was something that I could rely on when the pictures didn't do their job, and the pictures did the same for the sound. It was like almost like what it's like to remember stuff. There are things that you remember. Well, you know, it's like a sense memory situation where there's no present tense in the movie, and so there's a record skip insinuation that I just wanted. I guess there's many ways to answer this. I wish I could be better at this. There was so much voiceover written into the scripts, and Imogen just like dispelled all of that. Like mostly we didn't have to say so much because she just did it. And then when we kind of wanted to like instill some prose into the movie, I never wanted it to feel like narration. Like, it needed to feel like your homie who's telling you a story about what happened to her is like whispering in your ear while watching a home movie, like, oh man, also that, like, or that it was so kind of present to a fault that it felt like you shouldn't be listening to it. And in terms of popping and stuff, like the kind of mistakes that made the crew, like at the festival that we first brought the movie to, they were like, this DCP is full of mistakes. This is a piece of shit. We were like, no, it's actually totally art. It feels like, God, I wish I had a smarter and more intellectual way of putting this. It's literally like, I'm like, what? Like, where the fuck am I? Like, I just needed to like be able to support the edit with a little bit of. It's like if you could do a double take with sound. It's like if you could go, huh? That's what we needed to have often. And I had such an incredible. Our sound designer is like my fucking bro. Brent Kaiser is like. I don't think anyone would have let me make this movie like him, and nobody would have given me his time. And we were in a band. I mean, I sent Imogen to Philadelphia to like breathe into mics and sing and say words and things. And she's from New York, so it wasn't that bad. Don't complain. I don't look like that. It was cool. It was fun. And so we had like an incredible composer who'd never made a movie before, and a sound designer who did it for basically fucking free because he's very talented and fancy. And I was like, thank you. But now we're best friends and we play golf and it's all good. But he did stuff that everyone else would have been like, and he even said, he was like, I fixed it up. I spent a week. And I was like, you wasted a week. Please don't fix it up. We have to go through every split second and figure out how we want that time to land on people, how we want it experienced. Sound is, dude, I mean, like, those pictures, they're not one-to-one reflective of a clock. The sound is what makes it like really, it substantiates the edit and it makes it precise. And thank you for the question. It was really fun to do. It was my favorite part. I fucking hate writing. I love shooting. I hate editing, and I love sound.
Noted. Okay, last question from the audience. I'm sorry, from the balcony. You have a mic? Yep.
Hi. If Kim Gordon is your mommy, you guys are our mommies. So thank you for continuing the legacy of motherhood. Okay, I've been crying this whole Q&A, and this is a stupid question to be the last one, but I did want to know, as an actor type, how do you guys take care of yourself doing something like this? And I guess for Imogen too, I imagine having a director with that acting background would have been helpful, but I would love to know how you come out of this alive and smiling with a little sunbeam in your Zoom window.
Look at her. Look at this motherfucker. Also, I really wish we could see you.
I'm pretty cute.
I don't know. I think like this movie fucked me up for sure. There's no way. When we wrapped, I was like had this weird like lizard skin rash. It was like really intense and no one could solve it. And I tried all kinds of Medicaid, it just like wouldn't go. And I was like, well, that was strange. Never think about that again. But my body sort of, I put it through a lot. I got some hernias from the training as well I wanted to get really muscly back. So
I was like, before we even made the movie, Psycho, tell them that. And then the whole movie, she's like holding her intestines in. She never told me.
Yeah, got to keep that one quiet. Otherwise it stopped me working. But no, it was a real hard one, but it was always going to be hard. And I think both Kristen and I very much were perfectionists, and we're sort of like, well, we're here, we're going to give it everything we can, and especially because it was such unfortunately a miracle that we were being able to make it in the first place. I think we were just trying to just wring out for everything we could. I just don't know what I've met actors and I've heard people say like, well, it was good enough, it was good enough, and I don't understand what that means. I don't understand what it means that something's good enough. You hope that you got as close as you possibly could, given the limitations of independent filmmaking. And I think the two of us, we push each other a lot and we challenge each other a lot, and we'll never say sort of, that was all right. Like, we'll always go as far as we can. And I think you just kind of take care of yourself afterwards. And, I'm sure that changes as your life changes. But in terms of the making of this film, all I had to do was like give everything to this. And there was a second part of that question, which was to do with Kristen and Kristen's acting background. I just got an email from Reddit, says he hates me, ghosting. But Kristen has a...
Why are you getting emails from Reddit, dude? What the fuck?
It's the algorithm. I just like to get emails from anyone, It makes me feel seen and loved and adored and validated. There's something about an actor directing you which is really cool, but it's specific to Kristen because Kristen notices everything. And there are actors out there who would make films, and I don't know if they would necessarily have the skill set to make a film, in this way. And I think that Kristen's talent is specific to her as an individual. I don't even think it's specific to Kristen's gender. I think it's specific to a person who is able and urgently impulsively wants to render something. But the way that we met and worked together was just really, really effortless. And that happens sometimes. but not very often, but it's very, very cool. And I think that we're saying it's sort of ineffable what it is, but I think there's just I think we're both quite hard on ourselves, and we're hard on each other because we believe one another is capable of really good stuff, and we want to try and get as close to it as we can.
In terms of taking care of yourself as an actor, actors don't take good care of themselves. Other actors and the director that you're working with has to kind of do it, because people that I feel like Imogen and me have something slightly similar. If I tried to help Imi out of something that was hard, she would hate me. Like if I tried to alleviate or find a trapdoor out of something that was difficult, she would be like, "Fuck you, you pussy ass." And and she wouldn't say it that way. She's English. But there were definitely times that I was concerned for your body, like your hernia and your skin, and like sometimes, oh God, even like, I don't have to answer this question, it doesn't matter. You guys have been sitting here forever, thank you so much. She's like, even just her going, I'm like, okay, you do it after. I think what you said initially really resonates with me, is like, in the moment, you're not considering pulling yourself together, you're not considering sustainability. Right? I think
yes, but there's also something I think about both of us, and I can't speak for you as a director in this sense, but as actors, it's like, this is what we want to do, right? Like if you really
it's not that bad.
You want to interrogate, that's what it is to want to act. You want to sort of
harder.
Yes, the idea of not doing well. And of course, that means that you get beaten up in the same way that, like, when my brother was washing dishes in Montreal in the kitchen for months on end, his arms got fucking beat. It's like the nature of what it is to go at something hard and arduous. It takes all kinds and all different types of things, but it would be strange to sort of, I'm suspicious of people who do this job and sort of get a good night's sleep.
Also, like, there was, I would say, and because I know we're supposed to be done and we probably should be, but there was one moment that I thought, oh fuck, maybe I should like tell Imogen to go home, give her a big hug, and like call her in the morning, have a coffee. She loves coffee. But instead what I did was like roll fucking camera, and it's the best scene in the movie.
Which scene is that? Which scene?
It's just the end of this love scene that happens between the three girls when they go on the trip, and she doesn't really know where to place kindness. And, you know, we were tired. We shot it for a long time, and she just, something happened that I was like, you know, I didn't write that. And we didn't have a scene without that. We had a montage. We had a kind of cool feeling, but we didn't have anything like succinct. And it was not because it was like easy physically, you know what I mean? Like, I guess my instincts to be like, everyone fuck off and we're gonna go like have a coffee, and a decaf coffee, which she does before bed like a psychopath, and like go to bed. I was like, no, we're still going now. And she's
it comes down to director, because there are directors out there who I understand have pushed actors too far, and there are people, or in any work, they push each other too far, and that's different. But I think the trust was so strong that that's the key thing. That's why you're able to go as far as you can with someone when you completely trust them. I'm sure there are instances where it's like, is no bueno.
Yeah. I mean, just at the end of the day, we talked for way too long. This question was inspiring. Thank you. Taking care of each other, yourself as an actor, director, the whole fucking thing. It was like such a mutual, it's like having a good friend. It's like knowing when to stop pushing, like when to alleviate pressure and when to push it. That's like how you live. Thank God me and Imi are friends now. We get to like constantly remind each other to be like, dude, lay off or push harder. And sorry for taking so long to say that, but it is just the coolest thing that we got to do together. Like, it's why I want to live. And even if we weren't making movies, we'd be doing this together.
Yes. It's really, really beautiful and touching, your relationship, which is so apparent here this evening. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you for sharing this film with us. Wish you all the very best with it. And it opens up here at TIFF Lightbox on Friday, so